Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing something super simple and affordable, and that's putting some 12 volt LED lighting in, well, wherever you want. I'm going to be putting mine in the back of my Canopy. So why don't we get into the parts needed for this? So the parts for this job are really super simple and incredibly affordable. I picked up this little spool of yellow LEDs from Amazon. This is just like a 12 volt spool. I chose yellow because that's supposed to be better for bugs. This was like 14 bucks. I got some 22 gauge wire here. It's like 14 bucks as well. So we're like $28. And then I have this little RF remote here and dimmer, which I haven't tested on it, but should work. This came from LED Supply, and I believe it was like $9 or something. So we're at like $58 or sorry, $38. These connectors, these are no solder connectors. Quick pause on these connectors. As you'll see later in the video, they didn't actually end up working for me. The Amazon LEDs, the little connection points where you can splice the LED strand, the copper portions are just too thin and there's not enough material there for these connectors to make contact with. The LED strips that come from LED Supply do have nice copper contacts for these, and they work with that. I did verify that. Unfortunately, LED Supply was out of the yellow LEDs, so that's why I went with the Amazon ones, but just something you should know. As you'll see, I end up directly soldering the 22 gauge wire to the LEDs anyways, and that actually ends up being super simple and pretty clean. But you could take the cost of these connectors out of the total if you do not go this route as well. But anyways, back to it. 4 LED strips, they're pretty awesome. Bought a couple of these to make a couple different sections of lighting. But basically you just click these onto the end of the LED strips and then add in your wire as well, and basically creates a connection that doesn't need any soldering or anything like that. This came with the lights, just some double-sided tape, and then we have some, what would you call this? Some like cable, man, why am I blanking out on it? Cable sleeving. Yes, cable sleeving. And this was like 10 bucks. So I lost total already because I'm bad at math, but we're like less than $60 here. And this is going to be wired into the 12 volt that I put in the back of my truck, which that video may or may not have come out already. You will have to let me know. You could do it off something like this, which is a 12 volt battery pack. These are pretty cheap on Amazon. This is what I was originally thinking of doing before I put 12 volt power in the back of the truck. But since we have that in there, we're going to go ahead and wire it straight into the truck. So yeah, this is pretty much all you need, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. The next thing I did was cut the LED strips into 4 even lengths. In my case, I'm going to be using like 37-inch lengths in 4 different places, but you can see these can be cut every 3 LEDs. So that's important. Make sure you buy strips that are able to be cut if you're going to be making your own custom sizes. But yeah, now we're going to be attaching the connectors and probably some double-sided tape and getting these ready to be stuck where we want them. So how these connectors work is there's little teeny prongs in there that when you clamp it onto the LED strip, basically puncture up through the bottom of the strip and make contact with the positive and negative pads of the strip. So pretty awesome. And then on this side where the cables go, you can see there's 2 little channels in there that sandwich your power wires, or the 22 gauge wire in there. So it makes a nice sturdy connection, and this clamps all down. And then you can heat shrink over it if you want, or leave it as is. So as you can see, I now got 1 strip up here, nice and evenly laid out on the door here. And what I did was use this piece of angle iron to just like a ruler and evenly space it out from the door. Okay, this is pretty rad. I got the first one wired in and testing it out. The dimming function works as well. This is awesome. Can dim it all the way down. or I can bring it all the way up. The remote, handy dandy remote here. Pretty sweet. Okay guys, I figured I'd update you. We've ran into a bit of an issue. These connectors don't seem to be working out very well at all with these Amazon LED light strips. So I ordered a strip from the LED supply store, and the tabs on the end are, well, quite a bit better and thicker. And I'm thinking that's our problem, is the Amazon ones are a bit cheaper. So I'm going to try and probably solder on a couple little balls of solder onto the ends of our cheap ones to give some more contact area for these connectors, and we're going to see if we can't get them to work in the long run. If you go ahead and buy the LED strips from the LED supply, those connectors will work. I didn't get more because they were out of stock of yellow in particular. So I went with the Amazon route to see if that would work, and clearly it doesn't work as well. So I would recommend getting your LEDs from the LED supply. Still super affordable for lengths of LEDs. You're still going to be pretty cheap to get a decent amount of LEDs. So we ended up going with the direct solder method. So we basically just put 2 little balls of solder right there on the little copper leads, and then we just soldered our 22 gauge wire onto it. Super easy to do with wire this thin, goes really quickly. So we're going to go ahead and go around our other strips here and solder on wires. We'll take measurements to make sure that the length of wire is long enough to get to the next strip. That way everything can sit where it's supposed to sit, and then we'll solder it here on the bench and add it to the truck. Super bummed that these connectors didn't work out for this. But you know what? It is what it is. And it's ultimately probably going to be just a little bit cleaner. And I guess maybe a more secure connection. But I'll have to save these for another project and potentially pick up some more LED strips from the LED supply store that will actually work with these. So you can see here that we just soldered those wires on the end. And then we'll go ahead and put some shrink wrap over the end here, and put on the sleeving just like we did here on this side. There we go. Yep. So currently we have this one on, and then we just routed and wired up this one. Now we got to do the door on the other side, and then we'll transition to the back door last. So we did finish up yesterday pretty late, but we have everything in now. All of the sections of lighting are in. They're just double-sided taped to the door, and it basically runs in a chain all the way around, and then power comes up from here up to this one, and then it goes through the strips, ending at the back door here. So, and it's all controlled via this remote and dimmable, which is awesome. Obviously the lower powers end up strobing a little bit in the camera, but at full brightness it's good. So yeah, pretty awesome. I'm pretty stoked with this. So I'm pretty pumped with how this turned out. It was a little bit more difficult because I had to direct solder the lights together instead of using those clips like I intended, but it is cleaner and more sturdy of a connection. So I guess that is the upside to that. If you do use strips from the LED supply place, those will work with those clips. The contacts on these are just, there's not enough copper in them for those clips to make contact very well. So unfortunately, if you go this route, you're going to have to do some direct soldering, which itself is also very easy. But yeah, I mean, I think this whole setup costs less than $50 to do, which is freaking awesome for adding light in the back of the truck. A very cheap option. Now that I've built it though, I already have some changes I would like to make in the future, such as adding individual power, I guess, to each zone so I can control them individually of one another. It'd be nice, if there was like power buttons up here to turn them on and off, so that way you don't necessarily have to use a remote, but this was all about being cheap and relatively easy. And I think the next iteration will probably build on this. Maybe we'll go a different route, but for now this is going to work awesome. Let me know what you guys think of this video, and I'll leave links in the descriptions for the parts that I used for this too. Follow me on Instagram and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. I'll catch you guys in the next one.